So this morning I am interviewing Fergal O'Brien, who we all know as brilliant national hunt trainer, who seems to be going better and better as time goes on. Thanks, Fergal, so much for talking to me today.
Thanks for having me.
No, not at all. So you moved to your new yard near Cheltenham. It's sort of November 2019, I think.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say it's been a pretty huge success so far, hasn't it?
It's gone very well. As you know, as one of our neighbours, and you've come to use the gallop. It's, the key to any yard is their gallop. You can have the best facilities stable wise, and obviously you need good ventilation and stuff in the stables. But if you haven't got a good gallop, then it's always going to be a struggle, And we were very lucky that, I came here in 2018 to have a look around with Rupert and Nicky Lowe. As you know, there was nothing here, the sheds were here.
Yeah.
It took a bit of imagination, and thankfully it wasn't just down to me, my partner Sally, Paddy Brennan, Ali Sterling, who was working for a time, Alan Coley. They came and they rode around the farm, and Rupert and Nicky were very, very good and just sort of left us to it. And they decided where the gallop would go, and that's where we put it. Yeah, so we're very lucky. Yeah,
and it's so beautiful there as well.
Yeah, I think that is the other. Apart from it's, we're lucky. The gallop went where it went because that was the best place we thought we could put it. That's where the hill was, and it's half a mile long, and it rises about 185 feet. But it's not that; it's just the fresh air that's around. It's got a lovely feel to the place. Anyone that comes here will say to you, it has got a really nice feeling. It's fresh air. It's it's got a good energy about the place, I suppose, without going into it too much. Yeah, it's got a great feeling to it, and just always feels healthy, and it's just a nice place to be.
Yeah, no, it's lovely, and a nice view of Kim's gallops too across the way.
I always joke with Kim and Matt Nichols, who's his head lad, who's actually one of my best friends, is that they have got the best view in the Cotswolds because they can see me every morning. So
I know, lucky them.
Lucky them. That's what I always tell.
Lucky them. So, did you sort of have any teething problems along the way?
Not really. We had a few, trying to get the gallop how we wanted it, and we had a very wet winter, our first winter, and luckily the builders were still here, so we had a lot of rain run off the side of the gallop onto the gallop, which washed it away. But we were able to learn from that, and if that had been this year, we'd been in a little bit of trouble because the builders weren't here with diggers and stuff. So
yes.
When we had a couple of very, very heavy downpours, they were able to go down there, divert the water, and where it had washed away overnight a little bit, we were able to pull it back together. So, not so much teething problems. No, there's very little we change if we to start again. So that's always a pretty good sign. Since June, I think it is, that we've been able to have the owner's room, the office here where it is now, and the staff accommodation. The staff accommodation has been phenomenal for us. It's just in the winter, it's one less thing, and we only had one day this year. It was a Sunday morning when we had snow, when people couldn't get in. When that happened to us before, we would spend 2 hours trying to get people in 4x4s.
Yeah, nightmare.
Inevitably crash a 4x4. Whereas this time I was able to say to everyone that was trying to get in, just stay at home.
Yeah.
If it's for a day or 2 days, and then the 8 people and a couple of others that got in, we're able to sort it out. So
yes,
it's a huge advantage having people here. Yeah,
definitely, massive advantage. And how many horses do you have in training currently?
Well, we have 86 here now. We've just put up, we've just put up 6 outdoor stables, which are on Woodship, which are just at the end of the car park as you come up from Horsewalk. So we've got 86 here, and then we've got another 20 odd in Stowe, which is at Graham McPherson's yard. We rent a yard from him as well. So 106 altogether are in sort of full training. And then we'd have another sort of summer horses that are going to come back in. There'll be another 15 or 20 of them at pre-training yards. So so there's quite a few around, but
quite a team.
Quite a team, but as you know, Mr. Lowe isn't doing this for love, so we got to pay the rent, so we got to keep the wheels going around.
Yeah, absolutely. And does it work well having your partner Sally as your assistant trainer? Do you ever have sort of massive disagreements?
Oh yeah, look, it can be. I've had owners walk out of an owner's room or an office because that's you know, Sally's running the store yard, and you know, said to her the other day she came over to bring some horses over, and I miss her being here because although for the odd time when it does get heated, and it's, you know, it's our lives, you know, it's important you have someone, you have someone, you know, all we talk about, whether it's old times when we used to be a Saturday night out or a Sunday morning having breakfast, his horses, his racing, you know. And I think to do this job, it's a way of life, and to do this job, it has to be 24/7, and you have to deal with someone who you're not dragging along, you know. It's someone that's there with you, and like I said to Paddy, you know, for all those rows that we have, a lot of stuff gets flushed out in those. We call them discussions. Other people call them rows. But a lot of things get flushed out, and you know, neither of us are totally stubborn or pig-headed, but we both got our own views. And look, Sally's only assistant in name only. You know, we when Sally was here, we trained together. Yeah. And you know, she'll say, oh, you might need to back off that one a little bit, and I'll think, oh, we might need to do more with another one. So we have our, you know, we both have our strong points and our weak points. And we do seem to complement each other. We've been together been together nearly 6 years, and trained together for sort of nearly 5. Yeah. So Sally's been a big part of this and a big asset.
Well, at least she's understanding of all the sort of phone calls that happen. Trainers have to always stuck on the phone, you know, talking to owners, talking to jockeys, etc. At least she's understanding of that.
Yeah, like I will, unless I feel it's very important, I'll very rarely answer my phone on a Sunday, whereas Sally will answer her phone on a Sunday, which really annoys me.
More disciplined.
Yeah, and I just think, look, I'll see whoever it is. If they ring me on a Sunday and I know I've spoken to them on the Thursday or Friday, and I know their horse is running Wednesday or something, and I know it's not important. Yeah. I you know, whereas Sally does.
You've got to have some time.
Yeah, Sally does love to chat, you know. So.
Yeah. And so Fergal, you've had a great season so far. This looks like, is this set to being probably your best season to date? Yeah,
62 was our best ever season, and that was in a full 12 months. Yeah. You know, we're only going to end up with 10 months this year. So yeah, we're on 83 at the minute. Amazing. You know, we lovely to get to 100, and that's what the goal will be to get to 100. But we won't push for 100. Those sort of things either happen or they don't. Yeah. Because you go chasing things like that, you'll end up putting in the wrong race, and you'll just end up going to the wrong place. So it'll be great if it comes. If it doesn't, it gives us something else to aim for next year.
Sure it will. Have you found that you've had to adapt your communications with your owners due to the current restrictions and lockdown, and find sort of different ways of keeping them in the picture, or not really?
Yeah, we run a lot of syndicates anyway, so we've always used WhatsApp groups, and that's the key thing. I think probably the thing that will keep going forward is especially with if an owner couldn't go, we'd just be talking. Whereas now we do videos before and after, and Paddy's, Connor, Liam, Max's comments of a race afterwards. You know, we video all those now, which we didn't find, and we'll take that forward with us. Yeah. But we've, as you know, maybe not, but we are a very open yard, very social yard. So it's been very difficult this for us, because whereas before we would rely on people coming to the yard and seeing their horses, and you can discuss things, and it's nice to see people at the yard watching their horses school or work. It's been that has been difficult. I'm looking forward to owners coming back. Yeah.
No, I'm sure you are. Would you say that there's been a defining moment in your training career where you thought, yes, I'm really getting where I want to be? Was there a sort of certain moment?
No, I'm still waiting for it, to be honest.
Oh, come on, you've got.
No, honestly, this, as you'll know, because you're in any competitive sport, especially when you're results driven, your good days are behind you, and you're always looking forward. And I suppose sometimes maybe that's a little bit sad that we don't enjoy them. But being a competitive person, look, we had last year in the October meeting, we had 3 winners. That was fantastic. I was talking about the horse this morning, Lord Landon, which was owned by group of lads from Cheltenham who won. He was rated 105. Should never probably been at Cheltenham. Managed to win a race there at the April meeting.
Yeah,
one year, and things like that have been good. But you're always, I think, I don't think I've ever sat back and thought, this is going to be easy. I think you're always trying to improve.
No, you can never rest on. No one can rest on their laurels. Actually.
No, I don't think, and that's in any business. I think. Yeah.
No, yeah. And are there any particular races? It's probably a bit of a boring question. That are on your bucking. Sorry.
You said bucking.
On your bucket list, that you really, you particularly want to win.
I was very lucky to be involved in the Imperial Commander when he won the Gold Cup, but any Cheltenham race would be fantastic. But the Imperial Commander's Gold Cup was just phenomenal. It's the Grand National is great. It's a fantastic race, and again, I was lucky to be involved in Bindery and our summer. So it's great. But any Cheltenham, especially a festival winner, would be fantastic, being so local. And so it'd be lovely one day that we could produce a Gold Cup winner from Ravensworth Farm.
Yeah, and can you tell us then about your potential runners and your hopes for them at this year's festival?
Yeah, so probably our best chance at I think he's gone favourite now, is Imperial Alcazar in the Pertemps. He was a very good horse for us last year. He's been highly tried. Been placed in listed bumpers, ran very well last year. We didn't enter him at Cheltenham last year because we were going to go to Aintree, which didn't happen. And then he was meant to go chasing this year, and so that got away from us because he got a niggle after he had a run in over hurdles to get a preference in. Yeah. So he is one of our best chance, I think. We've been second in the race before with a horse called Barney Dwan. And Imperial Alcazar, I feel, is probably on a similar mark and could be slightly better than Barney Dwan. He's a little bit bigger and stronger and a bit more scope than Barney had. He tries very hard. So he'd be our best one. Alaphilippe has been a fantastic horse for us. He's won 4 races from 5, just got better and better. And his original plan was to go to Sandown for the EBF final. But he won. Finished second at Taunton, where he had a right to be second. On paper he should have been 4th, but ran such a good race. The handicapper rightly put him up, so that's what ruled him out of the Sandown race, which is a handicap for novices. And so he's in the Albert Bartlett, so I think he's got a very good chance as well. Yeah. And we've also got a nice mare called Dulcita, who's owned by Jared Sullivan. Dulcita came over from Willie Mullins to Paul Nichols. She had 1 run for Paul, and she bled on the day, and Paul got a win done. We've had 1 run with her when we had to rush her a little bit. She was 3rd in a good race at Warwick. So I'm really looking forward to her running, because I think she'll improve an awful lot for the Warwick run. So but they'd be the best one.
Yeah. Oh, very, very good luck with them. It's going to be pretty strange, isn't it, with no crowds there? I mean, I guess you're all getting used to it, but for Cheltenham, it's going to be. How are you feeling about that?
Apprehensive, I suppose, is the word, because I've been to a couple of Cheltenham meetings and had runners, and it's just, Cheltenham is like Christmas for me. It's just a massive. It's such a great time of year. Yeah. Either the November meeting and this Cheltenham Festival. My brother comes over from Ireland. Family come up from Hereford, and the house is upside down for 5 days, but it's just fantastic. There's bodies everywhere, but it's just a great time. And I suppose maybe I'm probably apprehensive about that as much as I am going to Cheltenham and no crowds being there. It's such a big place. It's eerie without the crowds. So look, it's for 1 year. Hopefully we'll get back to some bit of normality. And there's people in a lot worse situations than we are. And at least we get to go racing. Yeah,
that's true. And how are your owners feeling about not being able to attend?
Very understanding, and they understand it as a bigger picture. And speaking to the likes of Paul Nichols, and he said that he's been under less pressure for people to want to run their horses at Cheltenham. So they're probably moving them back towards Aintree, because hopefully they will be able to go to Aintree. So there's that side of it as well. So I think people just we've had a year of it. It's not a racing thing. And everyone's got used to it. It's just accept this is how we are. There's no point in stamping your feet. We're not going to do anything else about it.
Well, the owners are going to actually probably see more watching it from home anyway.
Yeah,
one tiny sort of plus point.
Yeah, no, there is, and we got to give great credit to the Racing UK and ITV. Ed Chamberlain and his team have been fantastic. I know for the Paddy Power meeting would have been normally the November meeting would normally have been 550,000-600,000 viewers. They were over 1 million this year. So they've got racing out to a great amount of people.
It's been amazing, actually, that's sort of saved. I think it's saved everyone's weekends to have Saturday afternoon racing. I don't know what we'd do without it.
No, it would be, and that's a common theme when you speak to people.
Yeah.
Not even hard and racing people, just people who are at home who are like sport. Who have, I've had lots of emails saying we've enjoyed watching your horses running, or, asking about a horse that might have fallen. I don't watch racing much. Is your horse okay? And so these are people who would normally be out and about shopping probably on a Saturday.
Yeah. I'm sure there are a lot more people who are now enjoying racing than there were.
Definitely.
Than there were before. So have you got any entries for the Grand National?
No, nothing this year. No. So hopefully get back there. I've had Alvarado has been a good servant us in the national. He was fourth in it twice for us once I started training. And Perfect Canada, who we've just retired, he ran. He was quite fancy the 1 year. Actually fell at the first, which was the favourite down, which was Nigel's Black Lion. So that didn't go down very well.
Black Lion. My mum bred.
No way. I didn't know that. Yeah. So Perfect Canada fell at the first and brought in Sam Twiston Davis said to Paddy in the weighing room, because Paddy wasn't riding him, Alan Colan was, and said, is he a good jumper? And like he said, Paddy said, that will be the one to follow. And he went to the fourth.
Oh God. That first catches lots of them out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a bit.
Yeah. And Fergal, finally, obviously the ground is fast changing. This drying ground, do you think it's going to spring up some, surprises?
No, I think because Cheltenham always do
quite a wet winter, haven't they?
Yeah, but I think Cheltenham always do a pretty good job, and I think we train on artificial surfaces, although we're running them. But no, I think the ground will be fine, and it'll be nice ground, it'll be safe ground. There won't be many excuses on the ground side. Simon does a good job. They've
had the benefit, I suppose, of the last two meetings being abandoned. So I guess the ground's going to be in the best state it could be.
Yeah, I think so. I think I didn't speak to Simon, but I think that was probably in the back of their minds.
Yeah,
there wasn't many benefits to going there. We would have trashed the place if we'd have gone there.
Yeah,
I do believe that if we were in normal times and there was crowds there, those meetings would have been on.
Yeah,
I think the fact that there was going to be no one there, there was no good incentive to have them. I think they did the right thing, and we should have lovely ground for Cheltenham for March.
Oh well, Fergal, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be watching with interest and fingers crossed for you. And I hope you have a great festival.
Thank you very much. And thanks for having me.
No, not at all. Thanks, Fergal.
Cheers, man. Thank you.